This is an introduction for Buchanan Street Performance. I'm Dylan. I'm the one who created this. If you found this channel off of the idle clip from the Summit Stage 2 Turbo Cam with Sue, my turbo Cadillac, it's a 5.3 base with a single 7875, 4L80E. I'll list the build details and specs. We're going to walk through and go through some of the projects that's going to be going on with the channel. I just kind of want to put a face with it. That way, you know, if you guys are interested in the car and the builds that are going to be going on, please come back, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. If you have questions over what we're doing, great. I'm not going to be on here too long, my ugly ass face, but I am going to kind of tell you what we do. I like Turbo LS, like everybody else. I'm a basic white girl of the car world. There is going to be some Pontiac stuff. There's going to be some small block Chevrolet stuff. Maybe even some Ford stuff coming up. I kind of work on a little bit of everything, but right now my main arsenal is Turbo 5.3. I did have Pro Charger at one point in time on my long bed lunchbox, but all that build information was on TikTok. I'm leaving that platform to get on here. That way you can see more long form content, actually what we're doing with the cars, how it's set up, and just a better explanation. That way you guys can comment, ask questions. I can explain in depth. I can show you what's going on. And we're just going to follow along with the builds. And there's going to be different series that I'm going to have updates on. So there's going to be a series dedicated to Sue the Cadillac. There's going to be a series dedicated to Lunchbox, my long bed square body. There's going to be a series dedicated to my Pontiac Adjudicator. I'm not going to be posting a super bunch right now because I'm in the process of setting up a building, but I want to walk through, give you some details on the cars, let you kind of look at them and get a feel for what we have going on with the current projects at hand. So with that being said, welcome. Let's get to the cars. All right, so now we're out here. This right here is Sue. It's a 94 Cadillac Fleetwood. It's Fleetwood Brougham. Pretty much the car is 100% factory as far as the interior goes, other than the wheels, the outside, and you can see the exhaust peeking out there. This car is pretty much a factory appearing car as much as possible. It does have several upgrades. Single 5.3 4L80E build, Metco billet control arms, Eaton True Track diff in the rear end. I think it's 373s. I'd have to look up the info to give you true specs on it. A lot of custom work's been done to it. Let me get in here and yeah, it's a little messy. There's things we're going to go back over and clean up, like some of this wiring and stuff. My AC does in fact work on this car. I have to fix that though because I had a seal cut loose at the evaporator. No big deal. But for right now, single 7875 on 3 intercooler, typical 5.3 setup stuff. Nothing super crazy with this one. Makes about 600 wheel horsepower. It's on a Holley Terminator setup. Car runs pretty good. There's some changes coming, and that's just a general rundown of this one. This one's my current pride and joy. And it's a fun cruiser, but a lot of changes getting ready to come up for that. We'll go over a list of parts here shortly. Now, this is my lovely woman's truck she just bought. It's a funny story how it was acquired. There's going to be a build series over this truck all alone, which, like I said, all these are going to have their own voice, or own storyline, excuse me. Right now, this is a 4.8 2001 short cab, or single cab short bed. Sorry, I'm not great at the speaking thing. You have to give me some leeway here. I'm still learning. Learn with me. This truck right now, if I can get the door open, was my brother-in-law's. Well, he's more family now than anybody else. So you can imagine how that kind of worked out. But we've got new seats, center console for it already. There's going to be some upgrades because this truck is fairly stock. As you can see, not a whole lot special. Typical what looks to be, which that's a K&N intake. That's going to be gone eventually on this build series. With this particular truck, this truck is Danny DeVito. I'll get into the story back in this truck on its series because it's rather funny. Unfortunate, but funny. Like I said, it's a 4.8 truck. It's 4L60E for right now. This one is not mine. This is hers. But the truck is in really good shape. We just picked it up. And we've got some pretty big things planned for this one in general. Is it going to be like that one? We don't know yet. But a lot to be decided still yet. So, we'll let that door up. Or at least try. Alright. Now, walk over to this one. Yes, I know I have shit scattered everywhere. Leave me alone. I'm in the process of putting a building up. This one, this is my 67 Pontiac Le Mans that come from my uncle. I love this car very dearly. I have a lot of money in sheet metal and stuff waiting for it right now. I just don't have the place to pull it apart like it needs to be. There's going to be a build series on this car, particularly itself, just because there's so much that has to be done to it. I do have a single S488 with the turbo manifolds. This car is going to be staying original Pontiac power. It just needs a lot of love, and that's going to be a big build series coming up with this one. As you can see, I've been kind of clearing out this area here so the building can go up. And just so you know that I'm not bullshitting you like most YouTubers, I'm going to try and be 100% honest, the best that I can with everything, because all this is coming out of my pocket. You know, I'm not a millionaire, by no means here. Let me turn this around. I am by no means a millionaire. Everything that I do pretty much comes out of my pocket. I don't get paid by companies to do this. I don't get paid for reviews, nothing. I'm just some regular average guy, just like anybody else that's going to be watching this channel. That's what it's pretty much going to stay. That's what I'm going to try and keep it as, because I want the viewers to look at this channel and be like, you know what? I can do the same thing he's doing. And you can. This is nothing special. This is nothing new. I just want to show you that it's easy to do it if you put a little elbow grease in. But aside from that, let's look at all the parts that we have for the Adjudicator. So we spin this around. I know it's a mess. It's a small building. Leave me alone. If you can see in here, because it's dark. It's very dark. Oh my god. It's so dark it might steal my wallet, man. I'm just joking. I can't see in there. This camera's not picking it up, but that's a floor pan, trunk pan. I've got quarters in there, in and out of rockers, wheel wells. There's a lot. I'll insert a picture I have of everything so far to date. It's a lot. But moving on from that, alright, let me lock this building back up. That right there is my high school car, Shade Tree. That's a Cutlass. It's 86. I had plans to do stuff with it this year in particularly. Right now it's just stripped. We're not doing a whole lot with it because of budget constraints and this new building that I'm working on having put up and dealing with that. This one's kind of getting put on the back burner for right now. There will be stuff done with it, but there's reasons, and you'll understand reasons why this one's been put on the back burner versus my other projects. So there'll be more on this one, just not right now. It's not her time, so to speak. That C4 Vet. God, everything on camera I have looks like absolute junk. This looks terrible. I don't know if I'm even going to post this. This looks awful. This C4 Vet. This belonged to my Uncle Anthony at one point in time. Excuse me. I haven't really got a name for this car in particular yet. It's a stick car. It's a 350 2-port injection motor. It runs. I just haven't found what I'm going to do with it exactly. I've had it for a couple years. I've had it running and driving. It does okay. It needs a lot of love. That's my Power Stroke back there. I've done a lot with that truck. Haven't had any time to really mess with it here lately. I plan on doing a little mini series on that, doing 05 axle swaps and stuff. That is my old lady's truck. That short bed sitting back there, that's going to be her cruiser. It's a build series where we're going to be working on that at some point. But if we go all the way over here, la-di-da. This is my long bed Silverado that has been dubbed lunchbox. Truck's rough, it's gritty, and this is what I love about it. This thing is set up on a Holly Terminator, just like the Cadillac. Aluminum 5.3 in it with S480 on it. It's capable of E85. This truck needs quite a bit of love. It's a turbo 400 deal, full torque aluminum drive shaft in the rear, 12 bolt. The fastest I've had it on 12 psi, being very conservative with timing, making sure it was pretty fat on fuel, was like a 750 with like a 1.7 to 60 foot, which for this big of a truck, pretty impressive. But still a lot to be done with this truck. It's rough. This, as I said, this truck used to be a nitrous truck. Now it's turbo. Those are the Mickey Thompsons we keep on it. But it's cool. I think it's cool anyways. It's simple junk. You know, Trailblazer SS intake. Pretty simple build. Aluminum 5.3 with a China log manifold and an adapter to go from T4 to T6. I'm going to make some changes on this. I'm probably going to play with this throughout the summer. Let's close this hood down. Yeah. 80s square body junk. Had to put hood pins in this because the intercooler hidden up in there, it didn't allow me to keep the hood latch. So, all right, moving on. Now, with all that being said, that's just the main builds that are going on right now. And like I said, I'm having a building built. Should be in the next month or two. Just depends on how the weather plays out here where I'm at. Because Lord knows it's been rough. I'm sure it's been rough for everybody at this time frame with the snow that's come in. It's melted. It's put my builders behind a couple of weeks. But with that being said, there was going to be a lot going on with this channel. I would love for you guys to look at it and just kind of take away something from it. Even if you don't like me personally, whatever, I don't know. I don't know how you, the viewer, are going to see it. You may hate me, that's fine. But if I can show you something and open your eyes, like I said, there's always going to be a flavor of build for everything. If you guys want to stick around and see it, that's great. Because two turbo cars up running right now. There's going to be, I don't know what we're going to do with that little green one, Danny DeVito, just yet. I've got some ideas, and it's going to be a fun build series for me, just because as the story unfolds, you'll understand why. We're going to let that out in the mini-series, but that's not going to happen until my building's up, and we actually have a place to take stuff apart, put it together, and that's just going to take some time. So bear with me, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.